Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Sting, the show that keeps you up to date with not only Alabama State football, but with news and updates and reports around the HBCU world as well. Once again, we got a lot to talk about after that heartbreaking defeat. So here's your host, the one, the only, Jim RatherNot.
Now you talk about a heartbreaker. It gets no worse than what happened down in Houston, Texas over the weekend. Hi guys, it's your boy. I'm back in the building. It's Jim RatherNot. And what an absolute heartbreaking defeat as once again the Alabama State Hornets go down on the road to a team with a losing record. This time it was the Texas Southern Tigers, a team that was 2-4 before we played them this weekend. Now, this game was defined by a couple of things. A few bad turnovers by Tavares, a lot of drop passes by the receivers, and the defense just could not stop Brian Richardson. I warned you guys about him on the last episode of The Sting. He was an animal this weekend. Not only did he average almost 24 yards a carry, he had 6 touchdown runs. And check this. He even set the NCAA record that was set by LaDainian Tomlinson back in 1999 when he was at TCU. He ran for 427 yards. 427, people. Oh my gosh, I was so pissed this weekend. Just watching him go up and down the field like that. Look how slow we are on special teams, though. Look at Perez run that kickoff back. Absolutely embarrassing. Just humiliating. What more can we expect from this defense now? This is the second straight week that we got ran off the field by the run game of the opposing team. Now get this. Before this game, Texas Southern only averaged 98 rushing yards per game. And they got over 400 on us. That is unacceptable. And Joe Cole needs to look at that hard and wonder why we can't stop the run. Now I knew that we would struggle to stop the run when Bobby Meadows on the opening play of the game ran a quarterback draw all the way for a touchdown. He's not even a fast player. Not as fast as Brian Richardson. The man looks like he runs track for Texas Southern. Man. And what about Jason Weaver? No, not the dude from Smart Guy, but Jason Weaver, the Texas Southern cornerback. He had 2 interceptions in this game. Oh man, Albez Robinson probably had the worst game of this season so far. The man kept dropping passes, and it's not helping Tavares. For the team just looks lost, especially on offense and defense and special teams. Let's not sugarcoat this. We have to get better as we get ready to take on the Southern Jaguars next week. The team that's in first place in the MAC SWAC West. Man, what a defeat that was. But let's look at the rest of the HBCU world. Now that we covered our game, let's see. Army give a ghost at the Alabama A&M. Florida A&M beat Alcorn. And then Arkansas Pine Bluff beat Bethune-Cookman after they destroyed us last week. Oh, wow. And then Jackson State finally gets their first win of the season over Prairie View A&M. Finally, we have Southern barely beating Mississippi Valley State. Now let's check out the Sun Belt, aka the MEAC. As you see, Norfolk State beating Howard, Louisiana Tech beating Morgan State, and then we have a banger in Nashville as Tennessee State beat Hampton. Now there was no doubt that Brian Richardson was the National Player of the Week after breaking LaDainian Tomlinson's record. But then you have Keith McDonald win Player of the Week from Jackson State. Then over at the MEAC, aka the Sun Belt, you have John Casey and Norris Minor named Players of the Week. Now next week we got the Southern Jaguars. This game is very critical for Southern is in first place in the MAC. and the MAC West. We must defeat them and win out in order to have a chance to get to the MAC SWAT championship game. This will not be an easy task, since these are the last two teams that played for the SWAT championship game. So they know each other very well. I am expecting a good classic shootout. Maybe it's going to be neck and neck. Let's just say that. I don't expect a blowout at all. Both teams are full of talent. Both teams are full of great impact players. It's all about who wins at the last minute, or probably on the last drive. Oh, and look at this. The USC Trojans lost to Washington. Oh, wow. That's going to break up the whole top 25 now. Well, that concludes the Sting. I'm your host, Jim RatherNot. Go Hornets. See you next time. I'm out.